The Wealth Building Project Podcast.
Welcome to the Wealth Building Project. This is the first of 16 episodes in the first season, and I'm really excited about what we're doing. Quick background on myself. My name is John Very. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm 50 years old, and I am really fortunate. I was very lucky. I grew up in a loving household. My mother and dad, as much as they showed their love for me, they had a long-lasting love too as well. And I'm really lucky. I have been fortunate like probably nobody else. I am a founder of a technology telecom company. I was one of the original members of the organization in 2002. And we built a big business. We started from nothing. We were probably in reverse when we started. We finally got it in drive. 22 years later, a $1.85 billion business. We're profitable. We have no debt. We have no outside shareholders. We are rolling. Things are phenomenal. I'm looking forward to this. So one of the key things that we've done at Granite, which is noteworthy, is the fact that we've been recognized the last 3 years in a row as the most charitable business with our headquarters in the Massachusetts area. And we're recognized nationally for what we've done in terms of charitable giving and things of that nature. So I thought the Wealth Building Project could be something as impactful, with Granite being behind me and the platform that Granite is, and how we could start to give back to our community, our viewers. When I was a little kid, I was always getting into trouble. I was always mischievous. It was always a challenge to keep me in line, in order. You know, it was tough because I was the type of kid who had ADD, and I was the kid who was maybe the kid that you probably didn't want to hang out with because I was kind of annoying. I would try to maybe mess with you a little bit where I could get away with it. And then I realized that, you know, I wasn't helping myself. I was making it worse on the people who could have benefited from me, you know, at that time. So when I was younger, I was held back in first grade. I stayed back. I repeated a grade, and for me that was really difficult. It was a big insecurity for me in my life because I just felt like because I couldn't grasp academic concepts, then I felt like that was something that would hold me back for the rest of my life. And I soon realized that there were just certain things I couldn't do. Maybe I needed to learn something differently. Maybe I needed to just be taught again, right? The same thing. And for me, it was just that. I was able to, you know, start to learn all over again. And for me, when I was young, if I had the confidence that I have now, I'd be much better. I would know much better. So for me, to be able to present this to you, the idea is to try to, we want to motivate you, but we want to give you confidence. For example, when we talk about the sales wisdom aspect of what we're doing, sales wisdom about speaking to people we don't know, right? It's about being willing to speak to the people you don't know, take that risk, right? Selling is about presenting to somebody most of the time for the first time. And not only do you want to present to that person for the first time, you want to present to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. And that's how you're going to be able to scale your life. That's kind of how you're going to be able to make a bigger impact in life too as well. So I didn't really have somebody that I would look to as a mentor. So I think part of the reason why I established this program was to bring together a community of people who could help our viewers, but particularly at a younger age. The younger, the better, because I didn't have that mentor, and that was the tough thing for me. Is my family, my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters. I have one brother. I have two sisters, and like I said, they were great. They were good to me. We always got along. We're really lucky in that respect because we were good to each other. We weren't at each other's, throats, so to speak. We were good to one another, and I think that was something that was important to me because it gave me that security to have a mother and a father who would tell me, I was doing great. They would give me the confidence to be great, I guess. And But what was missing was somebody who could give me empirical knowledge, somebody that could actually give me real data, workshop type stuff, where I could get down and study and be really connected to the things that are going to help me propel me in life. So for example, with personal development, we talk about eating right, intermittent fasting, we talk about health, we talk about, how you start your day, how do you motivate yourself to get up in the morning. If you can't get up in the morning, what are you doing to motivate yourself? Is it a video you need to get to do it? How do you stay regimented to a plan? On the sales wisdom side, getting the confidence to make the calls to the people you don't know and keeping the discipline, right? Having the discipline to make the calls all day long for as long as you have to, or whatever it is you're doing from a sales standpoint. If it's marketing, if it's creating video content, what are you doing to get your name out there so people know who you are, so you can get their attention, because your attention is going to follow that success, and success follows attention, I think, or one or the other. But you get where I'm going. And then with financial literacy, we don't learn it in the school system. Unfortunately, they didn't teach that to me. I couldn't add and subtract, but I figured out how to do the multiplication part, and now that's helped me in my life. And so in terms of financial literacy as a concept, if we can get it at a younger age, and it can become ingrained in us in terms of how we grasp the concept. And I think ultimately we're going to learn by being more visual. We're going to be learned by the actual example of what we do, and we have systems and programs in place where our viewers can actually ride alongside us as we're doing certain things, and as we're creating financial wealth, for example. So it's not just financial wealth, it's well-being, it's taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your spirit, and then giving you confidence to be able to talk to people you don't know. So I felt growing up, these were the things that if I had all three of those categories buttoned up, sales wisdom, personal development, financial literacy, I'd be a much better person today. Or even though I worked out to be okay, I guess, I might be willing to do certain things differently. Like I said, I might be more charitable. I might be willing to take more calculated risks. I might have been a bigger business owner for that matter, or I might have had a different role that I could play. But if now I can take this message and empower others and then get other ambassadors to continue to make the message prevalent across our communities, across the globe, then we're going to be better, and we're going to be able to solve the most important problems before we think that robots are going to take us over. Because even if robots take us over, if they can figure out their own wealth building project plans, then maybe they won't take us over. So there are three covenants to the wealth building project in no order of importance. The first, personal development. The second, sales wisdom. The third, financial literacy. So everybody is really an audience, if you will, in this. And anybody who's viewing this is, of course, a viewer, but you can also become a participant by just lending your opinion to what we're doing and giving us feedback, telling us how we're doing, what you want to see, how we can improve, or what might be great about what we're doing, or maybe what's missing, so to speak. We're going to bring on the gurus of these three covenants that we talk about: personal development, financial literacy, sales wisdom. And each of them are experts in their field. They could be, prominent individuals who you've known, you've seen, and in other instances, they're people maybe you don't know, you haven't seen them, but they offer you and me an opportunity to learn. So part of the thing that I'm super excited about with what we're doing is that for every episode I do, it's a learning experience for me personally. And as I start to make the message clear to you, and we have our guests on the program, and they start to give you valuable information, we both learn at the same time. So it's a great opportunity to kind of get a learning experience on the fly as we go that you can watch all the time, on demand, anywhere, all the time. So what we're trying to do with every episode, it has to be interactive. This is a community that we have. We have a lot of viewers that come from a lot of different places. So the first thing we want to understand is if you could grab a piece of paper, right, and write down three basic things. First, who you are, right? What is your objective? And what do you want to accomplish? How do you want to accomplish that objective? So if we could start there with the most basic profile of you as an individual, then what is your objective? What is it that you really want? What's your purpose, right? If you know your why, as they say, your how will always reveal itself, right? And then 3, of course, what you can do to get there. What do you think you can do? Maybe make 3 additional bullet points to say, what do you think, what are the 3 most important things you can do to get you there? And then together, we'll use this exercise to start improving our lives. For me, this is, like I said, I talked about it before. It's about looking in a mirror, right? If you're looking from my perspective, I'm a 50-year-old man, but if I could see myself at the age of 10, 15, 20, 25, and even maybe at 50 years old, what might I have done differently? And ultimately, what I thought about was how this would become a tool where we could look at it and say, this is what I need. This is exactly what I need. I got to get my game in order. Maybe I'm making not enough money. Maybe I could be making more money, or maybe I've made a lot of money and I'm trying to get out of the race. Everybody's in a different point in their life. Everybody's got a different saga going on in their life. And I think for me, this is just simply about taking really small parts of these things we talk about, these 3 pillars that we talk about, and trying to help people put it together for their own purpose. So as they put it together for their own purpose, it's powerful in that respect because it's uniquely powerful to each viewer. Everybody gets something that they need, and our viewers have something that they need. Our participants, the guests who we have something to offer. So it's powerful, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'll tell you, I got a lot of energy, but you'll have to get used to the energy. If you don't like it, you can tune me out. It's that simple. But I think people are going to love this because the Wealth Building Project is much more about giving than it is receiving. So, when we talk about wealth as a whole, it's not just material things. It's not just about how much I can get from this world, what I can take. It's sometimes just about a process of elimination. Sometimes it's just about how can I minimalize things so that my head is clear, right? I have a clear picture of what I want. Everything else is out. All the distractions are out. I can tell everybody no when maybe I'm not used to telling people no. How do I tell people no so I can keep my mind clear, undistracted, on point, right? This is a wealth building project. So for every episode we have, if we're doing little shorts, one of the questions I'd like to talk about is, what wealth building project really is just a metaphor for life. So if it's a metaphor for life, how can you define your wealth building project? If the wealth building project is a metaphor for life, how can you define your wealth building project? What would you define to the viewer if you were a participant, if you were part of this program, if you were part of the platform? What would you offer? How could you define your wealth building project? That becomes massively valuable. And because it's free, it's always on, it's always available, it's even more potent, and we're present all the time here for you, and we're ready. So if you stumbled into this video, there's a reason. Everything happens for a reason, as they say, right? Everybody's got their own version of the wealth building project. So when I'm talking with my kids, for example, I'm talking to my wife, or talking to somebody that I know, a friend, I'm always thinking in the back of my mind, what can they make from the wealth building project? Just like you who's watching this video, what can you make from it? There's got to be a reason you came into this fold, into this community. So I want you to feel good about it. I want you to feel energized about it. I want you to feel motivated. I want you to feel like there's really that true mentorship that you can get from this. This isn't pay for play. We're not going to try to suck you into something. This isn't a course, a curriculum. It's not, we're not asking for your firstborn, right? You don't have to worry about throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. All you have to do is just listen. And we're going to find you too, because we know what you want, and we feel as though if you give us feedback on things that maybe we're not talking about, it'll be even better for you because we could be more responsive, we could be more comprehensive. So I believe that, and I'm looking forward to it as much as you are, and hopefully it's something that we can spread the word quickly. As people have always told me from the very beginning, you can't build wealth, financial wealth, without equity. So we try to talk about how that's important in your life. And one of the things that's very important when you talk about the word wealth from a financial standpoint is one of the things I didn't learn when I was younger is how do you prepare for the end, right? How do you prepare for when you're going to stop, right? Because we as humans, we're not trained to prepare ourselves for financial well-being, or we're not prepared to say, okay, when's enough? What do I need enough? I'm not a squirrel. I'm a human. I've been given so much. I got a family. Maybe I spend too much money. Maybe I don't spend enough money, and that's a good thing, and you're saving money to invest it. But I think at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're all trying to figure out the same thing, happiness. We want to be happy, good parents, good mom, good dad, good partner, good son, good daughter. All these things are important, but if we learn some of these basic concepts in the very beginning, like for example, investing and learning how to invest at a young age, and then why you invest. What's the reason you invest? Is it because you want freedom? Yeah, ultimately you want freedom. But does it mean you have to quit your job to do that? No. Do you have to be an entrepreneur to do it? No. Can you be somebody who's working for somebody else and do that? Yeah, it is true. Do you have to have a big company to be part of something that could be special? No. Could it be a small company and you still be part of something special? Absolutely. So I believe that when we talk about just the financial literacy part, it's trying to prepare yourself for what your own end game is. So when you know what your end game is, now you can formulate that model for you that allows you to do the things you want to do, to maybe make an impact in society, to support charities, to maybe spend more time with your kids and your loved ones, and hopefully they don't abandon you along the way. Because if you show them your time, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember your presence. And I think the other thing that's important is, as I think about it, is just making that time, because you're not going to get that time back. It's never going to be, now is the time to do it, no matter what. If I'm doing the Wealth Building Project podcast, for example, now is the time to do it. I can't be thinking about, okay, maybe I'll do it tomorrow or the next day. No, it's got to be right now. So whenever you're thinking about what you want to do, it's got to have a sense of urgency on it. It's got to have an impact. It's got to have attention, and it's got to be a now thing, because you're not going to have a later necessarily. So that's an important concept we want to also teach. My name's John Very. I'm your host of the Wealth Building Project. Thank you for tuning in. You can follow me on any social media platform. Now that you've heard about the program, it's time for you to start your wealth building project.